Howdy, this is Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailor Man here. It's about noon here in the island of Puerto Rico, and I decided I was gonna have me a smoke. I got here value pack that Pipes and Cigars puts out. It's pretty nice. The peach, it's Virginia Cavendish. I mean Virginia straight red Virginia, and then the topping is I guess some some peach like additive. I don't mind once in a while. Mm. You hear me go, that means good. I'm here with my Rossi second. Cost me about 40 bucks, nice and big. Big bowl, big bore, big draw. Very American. Probably made for the American market. And can't find my tab. I'm gonna make a couple of taps myself. But I hope everybody's fine, doing okay. I'm doing fine. Uh, got my Bible study in, looking up some things I was really interested. You know, the maps. They got some old maps in the back of most Bibles, which is very interesting. And the reason why I find it interesting, typography, I think they call it, is that those countries were called a different name at one time or another. So when you look at the prophecies, they use those names in context to when that book was written. So what is it now in the future? What is the name of that country now? For example, Turkey wasn't always called Turkey. It was called Asia Minor, the land of the Hittites. It was called Galatia at one time. France wasn't always called France. It was called uh, uh, land of the Franks, and Spain wasn't always called Spain. It was called Iberia. Great Britain's names changed a couple of times. We used to call America the colonies, America, United States. So the names of country change with time. So I finished doing that. I wanted to try this Cavendish. It's been sent for a while, and I've let it age. I've had it like for 3 months now, so it's aged pretty nice, cured, very mild. Most of the value packs are some type of Virginia with a vanilla base, a topping, or a base, or a little honey, a amaretto. You can get 16 ounces for 17 bucks, which is pretty good. Pretty good deal. And this is the peach flavored, and it's nice. It's nice and mild. My wife is home, so I didn't want something to be too strong. Even though I'm in my room, it'll seep out the door sometimes. So. You know, I don't know why he asked me, but he asked me. Some man between the age of 41 or no, I'm in, I'm in Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico has an issue. Some people want it to be a state. Some people want it to be independent. Some people want it to stay the way it is. So this man comes up to me and asks me, why do I wear this hat? I said, excuse me? Why do I wear the hat? I said, because I'm a veteran. He says, yeah, but you're no longer in the military. Why do you wear it? I said, number one. Number two, once you're in a fraternity, and that's a very serious fraternity, you're always a part of that fraternity no matter what. It's like police officer. Even though you retire, you're part of a fraternity. It's like if you was in Knights of Columbus or Lions Club or some kind of Masons or whatever. You're part of a clique. You have certain things in common. I says, but he says you're not in the military. I don't think you should be wearing it. I looked at him like, you don't think I should be wearing it? I asked him, why do you think I should be wearing it? Because you're going to influence kids. They see you, they're going to ask you why you're in the military and why you serve in America. I said, do you have a problem with America? You have a problem with America? He says, yes, I do. I said, let me ask you something. You lived in here all your life? He goes, no. So where have you lived? I said, I lived in the United States. I retired. So United States. So I said, tell me something. You retired? You got a pension? Like me? He goes, yeah. Aren't you grateful for it? Aren't you grateful that you went to America and and you were able to work long enough to come home, build yourself a home or whatever you might have, and you retire? He tells me, no, I'm not grateful. I was like, okay, I don't want to get into any further discussion with you because obviously we're not going to see eye to eye. I'm proud of being American. I was born in America. I was not born in Puerto Rico. This is the land of my ancestors. That's number one. If you have a problem with America, you did the right thing. You left America. I grant you that. I wear this so that people don't forget that we got boys overseas and that they suffer. They're lonely. Many of them go. Like when I was in, all the Dear John letters that they were getting from women who married them for whatever reason. They couldn't stand that their husband was away. I said, well, why you get married with a soldier knowing the soldier's going to go away? And that's the shallowness that some people are. They get married because it's going good. You got a house, you got a home, but they don't want to suffer. It's like a woman that wants to date a cop, wants to marry a cop, but doesn't want to go through what a cop goes through. A police officer, first responder. And so we have to understand that everybody's going to appreciate America. They'll live in America. They'll come to America. America will provide for them. And then they'll shit on America. Those type of people I have a disdain for. Yeah, as long as they pay their taxes and they live and they don't harm anybody, those viewpoints are in their head. And as long as they don't spew it to me, I'm fine. To each his own, right? We have the freedom of expression. As long as we don't get violent, we're allowed to protest. As long as we don't get violent, and if you want something changed, you have the rights to vote. I believe that. If you're American. If you're not American, I'm sorry, you don't have a right to vote. That's how I see it. So that being said, I constantly run into people like that on the island. They're like, oh, you're American, what are you doing here? Like, they say, wait a minute. What do you do as a living? I work in tourism. So you see me, you know I'm local, you know I live here, and you're asking me why I'm wearing the cap. Because I'm proud to be America. And when I get the chance and I buy it in front of my house, it's going to be an American flag flying. Hi. What? I'm cancel culture now? I'm not with the status quo. I don't the status quo, man. Unless you're willing to get in the trench with me, unless you're willing to bleed with me, unless unless you don't bleed the red, white, and blue, unless you don't, unless you believe in the Constitution of the Bill of Rights, then we okay, we fine. Outside of that, adios. Adios. This is Sailor the Piper Man, Piper the Sailor Man, telling you that's why I stand. Have a good smoke, because I'm enjoying mine.